Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a wear test coming at you with the new Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I picked this up at Ulta, but I just want to read some of the specs on this foundation. You do get 1.01 ounces, so that's pretty standard for what you get, and it does cost $44. It comes in 24 shades, and the shade that I got, let's see. So I got the color Cashmere, which is described as a neutral beige with neutral undertones, and that is pretty much kind of what I go with all of my foundations. It currently has a 4-star review. It says the details about it. It's a full coverage, skin types sensitive, normal, dry, combination, oily. Finish is natural. It's pretty natural. I do think it leans more on the matte side, which you know I am all about that life. It says what it is an oil-free full coverage liquid foundation that looks and feels weightless on skin with 24-hour water resistant wear. Water resistant. Interesting. What it does, from the fairest of fair to the deepest of the deep, Becca combined light and skin toned correct pigments to create a shade for every skin tone. 24 shades, 24 hours a day, they've got you covered. The water-resistant long wear formula features a perfectly balanced distribution of skin true pigments and 22% water to allow the formula to adapt to all skin types for a second skin full coverage finish. One pump effortlessly covers imperfections, redness, hyperpigmentation, and uneven texture, giving you a ultimate confidence. Let's see, and what are the instructions? I want to see the how to use. Apply one pump. Okay, so I wore this foundation already before today, and I applied 2 pumps, and I'm hoping that is where I went wrong and why I had a negative experience. We'll touch on this later, but it says apply 1 pump of this foundation. Because this formula is so highly concentrated, you only need a fraction of the amount you would normally use with traditional foundations. Use with the one perfecting brush sold separately. Apply 1 pump directly to the bristles and buff into skin. Oops, I didn't do that either. For more buildable coverage, apply a pump of foundation to the back of the hand, sweep bristles over foundation, and apply to the face, adding as necessary. That's kind of more what I did. Using the one perfecting brush, buff the foundation into the forehead horizontally, working your way down into the cheeks, nose, chin, and finally the perimeter of your face. Interesting. Alright, so those are the details on it. This is the box that it came in. I heard people saying that they thought it was more like they thought it was the other like Ultimate Matte Foundation that Becca sold. I think that's what it was called, but they've just changed the packaging. I never tried that foundation, so I could not tell you. I've tried the Becca foundation that came in the, or was it not? No, it wasn't Becca. That was Hourglass. Never mind. But I did not try that foundation, so I could not tell you if they are going to be the same or not. So, but what I can tell you is how my experience goes with this. So let's go ahead and jump into the application. Okay, I had like a lip plumper on, like a lip plumping gloss, and it made my lips like super red. This area is super red right now, but it's because of that lip plumping gloss. Anyways, I'm going to prime my face with the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Primer. Okay, now I'm grabbing the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. This is in the color Cashmere. When I was like seeing it on the stand and seeing like all the different shades, it was kind of more towards the middle, so I was kind of scared that it was going to be like too deep, but I actually feel like it's just about right. And it says 1 pump will work for the entire face, so here's 1 pump. I'm going to try to work this as fast as I can. If you've watched me, you know kind of like my foundation wear test style. I like to try to blend one side out with a sponge and one side with a brush. So, as always, right side is going to be with a sponge. I'm actually gonna spray the bottom with a Fix Plus. I'm just gonna go over the lips real quick because that redness is driving me crazy. Now I'm just taking a flat top kabuki brush and I'm just gonna work in this side. I do feel like so far the brush side is definitely blending out faster. So this side was with the sponge, this side was with the brush. And coverage wise, I do feel like I got more coverage with the brush than I did with the Beauty Blender, but that's just, you know, the nature of how that one goes. Now we're gonna go ahead and apply the concealer. Already though, I am seeing like this weird, I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but there's like this weird patchiness going on right here. Oh, I hope that shows up on camera. Because it's like, it's almost taken it away. And it's like left it in like weird patchies. You know, the patchies. The patchies. Yeah, it's not going away. Okay. We'll move on to concealer. I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is in the color Fair Neutral. Because like you can see color wise, this actually is a good match, this cashmere color. So that was a good choice, even though I was a little nervous because a lot of foundations I tend to go more on the fair side in their foundations. Like we're talking like usually I'm in like the first 4 shades, somewhere in there. I don't know what's going on with my skin right here. I'm having like some dryness issues. Which usually that happens more in the winter and not in the summertime, but okay, I'm curious to see how this applies over the patchiness. Okay, that kind of took it away, actually. So, crisis averted maybe there. We'll see at the end of the night. Now I'm going to take my M554 brush and my MAC and Patrick Star Powder.
Technical term for what your under eye area is called. I always just call it my under eye area. Is there an actual term? Anatomy term? Let me know.
I'm just going to take my E41 and my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder and I'm going to set the rest of my face. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face. And I'll be right back. So this is the completed look, you guys. I actually think it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I have worn this foundation before and I wore it to like a full day of work where I applied it at like 6 a.m. And I don't want to give away too much, but I wasn't in love with how it wore, A, like right after I applied it, B, well, every time like I would go in the restroom and I would see my face in the mirror, I wasn't in love. And then by the end of the night, I was not in love as well. So I'm curious to see if this will happen again. It is later in the evening. It's right around 6 o'clock. So it's later than what I wanted, but it is what it is. I was kind of like postponing this video because I just wasn't in love with the way it wore the first time, but it does look different than it did when I wore it before. So we'll see what happens with that. On my eyes, I am wearing the Too Faced Chocolate Gold. I still love this palette. Still so love this palette. Anyways, yeah, so I will see you guys later on tonight, and we'll see how well this does, or if it's another repeat situation. Alright, you guys, so it is almost 11:30 right now, and this is actually the very next day from what you just saw. The reason being is that, like yesterday when I did it, I started way too late for what I wanted to, and then by like that night, I was so tired. So tired. It's been a crazy moment in my life, to say the least, but I was too tired and I just wasn't feeling it, so I just took my makeup off and I went to bed. And today I got this on around 1 o'clock. So it's been on for about 10.5 hours. So that's a good amount of wear time. The only thing that I did different today was that I applied the whole face with a brush instead of doing half and half. I don't really feel like that's like a huge deal or whatnot. So let's look in closely and see what's going on here. My redness on my nose is peeking through. On my chin, well, I got a new situation. I've had some stuff fall down. I don't like how it's settling around my nose at all. I look pretty dang oily, I must say. Pretty oily. I don't feel like it's patching as much on my forehead though, so that's interesting. I hope that you're able to see this on camera though. It's like, this is what the situation that I had with it before, that I really struggled with, that I told you about when I wore it before, and I was like, I don't know how much I like this. It's because like, it's settling here between my brows and other areas of my face, like really kind of splotchy. It looks very heavy, foundation-y, and cakey. Yeah. So let's go ahead and blot and see what all we can do to try and fix this situation. I'm of course grabbing the NYX matte blotting papers. Ooh. Yay. So oily. I see some foundation on here. There's not a crazy amount, but there's also like not like a little amount. You know what I mean? It's like kind of in between. And then nice and oily. Kind of the same. There's some foundation, not a ton though, and then just lots of oil. So let's see what it looks like after I touched up. Yeah. So like this area right here that I was worried about, it like clean took off some of this foundation. And you're probably not going to be able to see that because of the lights. And it's like almost completely off on my chin too. I wanted to like this foundation, but I'm like, I don't know if you can see this either. It's just clinging onto this dry skin that's on my nose right now, which probably, to be fair, probably most foundations would do that right now as well. But just for the heck of it, I still want to touch up. I'm going to grab my Rimmel Stay Matte powder and my E41 brush, and we're just going to kind of go over everything here. See if it will kind of fix all the troubles that I am having with this foundation right now. And just for fun, we're just going to spray my face with the Slay All Day setting spray. Did it fix it? I mean, it definitely, like, if I was wearing this for the day and this is what I was left with at this moment, I'd be okay with it. But you can very much see this problematic area right here. And it's gone like splotchy on my nose too. The thing that I've just not liked about this foundation is like it kind of has gone like spotty. Like spotty on my pores. Does that make sense? It's like everywhere I have a pore, it's like stuck in like really heavily, which has not been an issue I ever really have. And then also it's made like my wrinkles on my forehead really prominent, which I usually do not like ever have an issue with. But with this one, it is extremely prominent. I don't know if you can tell, but look at how it's like caked in to this one line on my forehead. And it's made me like a lot more wrinkly. Like I have more wrinkles. Well, it's probably showing me on my wrinkles, let's be fair. But most foundations do a lot better job at covering it up. So, do I love and recommend this Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation? No, I don't. This is actually like the first foundation for me that I think is like a pretty big fail. Like, I'm not in love with like this. I've not been in love with the way it's performed. I've worn it. This is now my 3rd day that I've worn it, so I feel like I'm educated enough in it to make that kind of a statement. Usually I feel a lot better at the end of the night about the way my face looks, and the only problems that I really have are kind of like splotches throughout here, which I will give it credit. I don't feel like I really have like the same splotchiness on my forehead that I usually have, but it's kind of swapped it out. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll be good here, but then all the other areas, well, that. But I mean, you never know, it might work for you. My suggestion would be to go and get some samples and just try it out and see how it works for you. But for me, it was just kind of a little too heavy and too thick, which usually I really like that, but it's like a dry thick. I don't know how to explain it. It's just different from anything I've ever tried before. So not my favorite foundation, you guys. So yeah, I don't really like having negative or not so great thoughts about a foundation or any makeup product, but you know, it is what it is. But just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it won't work for you. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big ol' thumbs up. Leave any comments, requests, questions, anything down below. I love to talk to you guys. And subscribe, join my little crew, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.